Well, guys, there's a lot that is happening in sports right now. We got schedule reveals for a lot of stuff. We just got basketball opponents for the SEC next year that we're breaking down in today's video. And tomorrow we will have the NFL schedule release. So tomorrow, what I'm going to do, 2 videos tomorrow. I'm going to predict the Cowboys schedule and predict the Panthers schedule, all in separate videos. Should be fun couple videos for you guys. Before Thursday, you guys will have the interview with Noah, and then Friday, you guys will have Franchise Friday. That's kind of the outlook for this week. I just wanted to throw that out there before we get started with today's video, of course. But anyway, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, of course, where we talk all things sports. Like I said, today we're just going to break down Auburn basketball's opponents, the SEC opponents that I really like, the matchups for this year's basketball that I really like as well. We got a lot we got to talk about in today's video, especially we got some more Madden 25 news to go over towards the end of the video, which we will, in fact, do that as well. So, if you guys are new to the channel, be sure to drop a like, subscribe, turn that bell on, as we do our best to post on this channel every single day. Like I said, tomorrow, 2 videos for you guys predicting the Cowboys and the Panthers schedule. Cannot wait. It's going to be a fun one. Thursday will be a pre-recorded interview, and then Friday will be a pre-recorded franchise as well, because I will be out of town in Dallas for my trip. But that's where I'm going to leave you guys with that. I've officially graduated high school, got my diploma today, so we're done with high school. Now we can just go ahead and look forward to the next thing in sports, which, of course, tomorrow is the schedule release, and then Thursday, the full reveal of EA College Football. But that's all I got for you guys. Let's go ahead and hop into this video, breaking down the Auburn basketball 2025 opponents. Alright, here we are. We got our schedule, or at least the opponents for Auburn men's basketball, and then after that, I'll talk about the conference games that I like overall in the SEC next year. So, for starters, at home, I believe we have Alabama, Arkansas, Florida, Georgia, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Tennessee. On the road, we have Alabama, Georgia, Kentucky, LSU, Ole Miss, South Carolina, Texas, Texas A&M, and, of course, Vandy on the road as well. So, there's a lot I like about this schedule. Number one, I like the fact that we don't have to go to Florida. Again, Florida, I don't know what it is, but Auburn basketball has not beaten Florida since like 1999 or something like that. It's been a crazy cold streak for Florida, or for Auburn at Florida, which is wild. But I like the fact that we host Florida this year. I think we can beat them at home. We host Alabama at home. Aiden Holloway will make his return. I'm going to try my best to go to that game. As soon as they announce tickets for that, I'm probably going to get on and get those tickets for that game as well. Other than that, I like the Oklahoma game, and I like the Tennessee game. The Tennessee one is going to be a big key matchup for the Auburn Tigers. It's definitely going to be a tough one, even with the loss of Dalton Connect for that Tennessee group. That Tennessee team is still going to be unstoppable, and their offense is going to be hitting. On the road-wise, road games, they're all tough. But I'm looking at that Kentucky matchup, I'm looking at that LSU matchup, and I'm looking at that Texas matchup on the road. Those 3 games on the road are probably going to be our toughest games, and Alabama may be one of those as well. But that being said, LSU is kind of one of those underrated teams that can get going, and I think next year they will get going, especially after their new coach that they just brought in this past year. He played pretty well. They weren't bad at all. They weren't a bad basketball team. And they do host us next year. So I'm interested in that matchup. Kentucky, obviously, with the loss of John Calipari, I'm interested to see how that's going to work with the new hire and the BYU old coach. That is going to be a key game as well. And then Arkansas, hosting Arkansas on the road, at home. John Calipari still coming back to Auburn. That one's going to be a fun one as well. Basically, half the players who transferred to Kentucky are following him in the portal to go to Arkansas, which I do really like about that one as well. So, another one, again, that Texas matchup. I'm looking forward to playing Texas in the SEC a lot more frequently than what we used to be. I'm very excited to play Texas on the road. I'm really disappointed that we don't play them in football this year or next year, but I am very excited to play Texas and Oklahoma as well. We got the 2 new ones at home. It's going to be a fun one. Now let's talk about the games that I think are going to be high on this year's SEC radar schedule. Alright, so we're going to break down some more of these games and conferences. We're going to talk about the big ones that I think are going to have an impact on this year's conference standing wise. So we'll start with Alabama and take a look at their schedule. The number one game I'm highlighting for that Alabama Crimson Tide team is, of course, on the road at Auburn. But I'm also highlighting that Tennessee game. That Tennessee game is definitely going to be a key factor in this year's SEC basketball conference standings because Tennessee's always so good. And this time, they don't have them at home. They go to Tennessee on the road, which is going to be a struggle for that Alabama Crimson Tide team as well. Obviously, LeBarion Philon committing to Alabama is going to play a huge role in that. On that team, obviously Aiden Holloway is going to play a big role, so they definitely do not have the experience to go on the road at Tennessee and beat them, which is why I think that's going to be a key one. Looking over at Arkansas, though, pretty much just going to highlight one for every single team. But looking at Arkansas, the next team, of course, is that at Kentucky game. They're playing on the road in Kentucky, which John Calipari, in his first year, is going to make a return to Kentucky. I'm also highlighting for Arkansas, I'm highlighting that Tennessee and Texas game. Those games are going to be key factors for Coach Calipari in this SEC conference if he can get those wins on the road in Tennessee and on the road at Texas. Looking over at Florida's side of things as well, one of them that I'm highlighting, and this isn't a weird one for me to highlight, is that Ole Miss game at home. They also play Tennessee at home, which I am obviously highlighting. That Kentucky game on the road is one that I'm highlighting. That Auburn game on the road. Florida's got a very tough schedule looking at it. And, of course, I'm highlighting that Tennessee game that they play at home as well. They get a home and home with Tennessee this year. They play them once on the road and once at home as well. So both of those games I'm definitely highlighting. And then at the top, you have that Alabama game. Florida, by far, probably has the toughest schedule in this conference right now. But that's what I got for Florida. Looking at Georgia's side of things, Georgia's going to be bad as per usual. So I guess I'll highlight the Tennessee game, the Texas game. The usuals for that one at Alabama, at Auburn, of course. Hosting Florida, though, that's going to be an interesting one to watch. I'll definitely keep an eye on that one. For Kentucky, kind of the same deal with Arkansas. That Arkansas game at home with Coach Cal making his return. But I'm also going to highlight that Alabama game. And then they host Auburn, which I'm going to highlight as well. Those three games are going to be really tough for Kentucky. If they can get past those three teams, then they'll be in good shape to make the tournament and be a high seed in that SEC tournament as well. Looking over for LSU, of course, I've got them that at Kentucky game as well. The Auburn game at home, the Alabama game that they have to go to on the road as well are all going to be tough games. But the most important one is going to be that Texas game at home for me. I don't know what it is now, LSU Texas, but I just think that game is going to be a very key factor. Ole Miss, they're kind of iffy right now. I don't know what it is, but Ole Miss, they've got Auburn, they've got Alabama on the road, they've got Auburn at home. They got Auburn on the road as well. So those are kind of the things that I'm highlighting as well. And then, of course, the two newbies. Oklahoma, what I'm highlighting for them is going to be that Kentucky matchup on the road. It's going to be very interesting, or at home for Kentucky. It's going to be very interesting to see them play against a very good Kentucky basketball team next year. And then, of course, that Arkansas game on the road as well. Those two are going to be key factors for them and to see if they can become a dominant force in this year's conference play. Highlighting the ones for Texas, of course, is that Oklahoma game on the road. They will also host Oklahoma as well. But I'm looking at that Tennessee matchup and, of course, that Alabama matchup and that Auburn matchup at home as well. Texas got it pretty easy. All they got to do is go on the road to Arkansas. That's pretty much it. But those are just some of the key games that I'm highlighting here in that SEC broadcasting schedule as well. Anyway, of course, that is where I'm going to end it with today's video. Let me know what you thought of it in the comments down below. Just kind of breaking down the matchups that I like for each team, the matchups that I don't like for each team as well. I'm going to hop off, get this edited so you guys can watch it on time. Have a great rest of your Tuesday as well. Really quickly, before I let you guys loose, we'll talk some Madden 25. Apparently, Madden 25 is going to be revealed on Thursday as well. They might as well make Thursday a national holiday because that is also when EA College Football's full reveal is going to be as well. So, if you guys are into that sort of stuff, leave a like, subscribe, turn that bell on. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Have a great rest of your day. I'm going to get started on Friday's video, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.